What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I really do appreciate everybody for doing that. We're sitting at about $385.65 right now. We appear to be in this kind of unorthodox inverse head and shoulders pattern. Call it that if you'd like. The volume doesn't really make sense for that, but it kind of does work that way. If we were looking at this on a daily, it does almost look like an inverted roof. Just minus this wick. That's why I think the 4 hour might be something to take into consideration. But what we've really identified this is the inverse sombrero, right? This is the inverse sombrero. I can hear the mariachi music playing. I don't know, but you know, it has the little things. I don't know. It's the inverse sombrero. It looks like a very bullish setup. It does look like it wants to break out to the upside. Generally speaking, when you have a flat top like this, you do expect it to break as the consolidation of this pattern continues. As we get toward the end of it, we're getting higher lows, maintaining this flat top. As we continue to climb through this range, we've only got so much room to go before we have to pick a side. And generally speaking, whenever you have a flat side based with a ascending support line, you would expect a breakout to the upside. So we're just waiting. It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, it could happen the next day. Perhaps, I mean, probably not a week from now. I think the pattern doesn't have enough time for that to continue, but I would expect that if and when we break out of this pattern, we would see a move that would more or less take us all the way back up to about $460, $470, somewhere around there. If we look at the relative fibs, maybe I should take it from this high, that high to this low. Maybe not. Maybe it would make more sense from this high, actually. Yeah. 450, 463, that's our next kind of target area once we close above this 382, which we've interacted with it once. We pulled back to the 236. This is actually a very common thing to do, is interacting with the 382, pulling back to your 236, and then you move up to your 61869. So I actually very much do feel confident in calling for the next movement to be up toward about 450 to 460. Maybe we go higher than that. I know I said 460 to 470 at first, but based off of what I'm seeing here, I'm going to say 450 to 460. If we look at the overall range as a whole, from the more significant high to the more significant low, 455, right? 456 right there. It's actually extremely common on your first interaction with the 382 to break up above it a little bit, so that throws 470, 460 back on the table as well. So somewhere there's multiple things from multiple different kind of zones lining up with that. So that's where I think we're going next. It's just a matter of when. Are we going to do it today? Or are we going to do it tomorrow? We look at the daily RSI. It's not really too exciting. It looks productive. It does look constructive right now. I'd love to see it continue. We can even move down and still be fine, right? We could move down to the 40, and if we bounce off the 40, that's actually a really good look. We bounced off it here. It didn't get us into the overbought zone, but it did give us a little bit of growth afterwards. We bounced off it here, and that was definitely a good move up. I think that actually sent us to our high, didn't it? Yeah, that was the move that sent us to our high. So going down from here wouldn't be devastating. It might look funky with this pattern. I would hope that we don't go too much lower than like 380. But it would make more sense perhaps to move up. Either way, looking at the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour RSI actually looks very bullish. Very bullish, man. I would like it more if this was actually finding support up here or up here on the 60, not below the 50. It does look bullish, kind of the way that it looks, but just where it is in respects to these readings on the RSI, it's not the most ideal setup, but it does look better than it does worse. So being here at an area that you found support once, twice, 3 times, and you actually continue to find resistance in the same area prior to this, it might be a significant area. It might be somewhat of an area that we could find a momentary bounce. So who knows? We'll see. I would expect that we will see a breakout of this move when we do get more consistent readings in the overbought zone above this dash line up here, right? We pierced into it, but I'd like to see something that's more like this, or even that at the least, right? Something that's more than just a little rejection like that, a little point. We want to breathe in there for a little bit, like we did with the oversold zone, but in the overbought zone. When we see that, that will likely be in the midst of the move that takes us up to, we're at $385, $86, whatever you want to call it right now. That would take us up to about 450 to 470, right? That's the target. Specifically, I'd say pretty damn close to $460 actually. So that's it. That's all I got to say. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more. I do think Bitcoin Cash is going up very soon. It's just when. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? I would think sometime within the next 3 days, by the end of this week, we will get resolution. And if I'm wrong, if that resolution instead is to the downside, I'm personally not expecting that we break this low. But if we do, I don't think we would go too much lower than that. I really don't think that we'd break this low here. But personally, I am assuming that's the low. Any movement down from here would just be a higher low, and I don't even expect that. I'm really thinking we're going to move up. So that's that. Hit that like button one last time. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.